Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and this is a beer brief. If you are unfamiliar with what a beer brief is a condensed version of my long-form beer reviews. Now, my long-form videos are about 10 minutes. Beer briefs aim to be about 5 minutes. If you do know what a beer brief is, thanks for coming back. Today, I am taking a look at Dank Vegas. This is a 7.4% New England Style IPA from Loaded Dice Brewery in Troy, Michigan. I went and picked this up just a couple days ago, actually. Stopped in the tap room, had a couple great beers, had a bourbon barrel aged, like a French toast style stout, had a wheat beer, and had a dark lager. That's what I had. So this is Dank Vegas. This was a 420 release. I don't usually look at the can art in these reviews. I just kind of talk about them, but I have to say, this is probably one of the coolest beer labels that I've seen in quite a long time. It looks almost like a Danzig kind of skull there. It has some dice in the eyeballs, and like Vegas on top of it says Dank Vegas in a Danzig type font. And of course their slogan, beer should never be a gamble. Again, this has Comet, Strata, Chinook, and Mosaic hops, 7.4% alcohol by volume. This is a New England style IPA. So I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to go ahead and crack this. Again, this was the 420 release. I picked this up on Saturday, which was like the 24th or something, maybe a few days after that. But I'm going to put a nose on the can. That's what I do. Then I pour it, and then I smell it out of the glass. Then I drink it, and I talk about it and tell you all about it. Let's try it out. Has a bit of a dankness to it, not going to lie. Maybe a bit of a piney kind of resinous aroma, but that's how we smell it out of the glass too, because sometimes it's a little bit different between the glass and the can. Pouring this out, it's coming pretty hazily out of the can, more of a light yellow stream collecting in this glass. I hope you can see that. Well, first off, it's got about a finger's worth of head, a little bit of an off-white head. The color itself is an interesting kind of color. It's almost like a peachish orange kind of color. I don't know how well that comes across on the camera, but from here it looks like almost like a really bright orange, or not a bright orange, but an orangey, peachy kind of color, like I mentioned before. We're going to smell it out of the glass. Oh, that smells pretty dank. Smells a little sticky icky. Smells like a Dank Vegas. Let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. So we always talk about that mouthfeel first. This is the New England Style IPA. You expect it to be a little bit on the thicker side, the 7.4% alcohol by volume. The mouthfeel is actually a little bit lighter than medium. It's almost a little bit lighter, a little crisper than I'm used to on a New England Style IPA. So it's not quite that soft, pillowy flavor, but it's not light. It's not like Pilsner or a lager or some mouthfeel like that. So it's a little bit under what I usually expect out of a New England Style IPA, but it's not nearly quite as light as something super refreshing like a Mower beer or a PBR or a macro style beer or anything like that. Talk about the taste. It is a very interesting taste. You get a bit of almost a dank, sticky kind of mouthfeel, right? A little bit of there's a bit of a grapefruit going on in there, but there's a sweet element too. There's a grapefruit on the bitterness, and let's just try and talk it through. We'll walk it through the steps. We'll talk it through the steps. So you get this kind of dankness, this little skunky kind of, weedy kind of taste in there. And then that evolves. So don't take skunky as being a bad thing. It's more of like kind of like I said, a weedy kind of sticky kind of flavor, if you know what I'm saying. And then it evolves into this kind of sweeter flavor. And what exactly is that? It's almost a sweeter tropical papaya kind of flavor in there. It's an odd one that I don't know I've tasted in all that many New England style IPAs, but it fits that kind of tropical mold. But like I said, it kind of goes into a little bit more of a sweeter papaya kind of flavor. And then on the finish, once that starts to roll down, you start to get a little bit of it feels like or it tastes like there's a little tiny bit of a resinous kind of flavor in there, but then on the finish, it's like I said, you kind of smell that grapefruit in the aroma, so you start to pick up a little bit more on that grapefruit on the finish. So it's got this really interesting, very different kind of flavor profile than I'm used to. Like I said, you get that kind of sticky, dank kind of flavor up front. It evolves into this sweet, bursts into this sweet kind of papaya flavor. and then finishes off in this bit of a resinous quality, but also in a grapefruity, citrusy, kind of hoppy bitterness on the tail end. So it's a really interesting combination. And I have to say, I can't think of anything in recent memory that has that kind of papaya tropical kind of flavor profile. A lot of New Englands obviously have tropical profile, but not so much of that papaya. So it's very interesting, and I'm very intrigued, and it makes you want to take another drink. And you're like, man, is that really what I'm tasting? And it is really what I'm tasting. So that has been Dank Vegas from Loaded Dice Brewery in Troy, Michigan. Go visit these guys out if you can. On the can here, they have a little treasure map. Lets you know they are on Rochester Road, it looks like just north of Maple. You can find it right off 96 and all that good stuff. So until next time, I don't know what else to say. Until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are Loaded Dice Brewery in Troy, Michigan. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Cheers.